Now I've already knocked my
Like localised wavelength.
We're at the sound.
I think you have to. Like,
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
it's like one over square.
So I don't think you can.
No one come near this. Don't go near this. It's very delicate. Oh, it's very delicate.
Just submitted.
No,
Why are you? Where's my drink?
I'm using it to pop up in live stream. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You have to make sacrifices.
Get something else.
This is going to be your life.
There's another big cable. This is an elderflower, it's not water.
What should I? Okay, wait, hold it for a second. Just hold it for a second.
Molly said she'd do it.
What's Molly doing?
Treasure.
Yikes.
Will you repeat it, please? If George stays,
I don't want to
if
fret.
no, you don't have to do PGM, please.
I would do PGM. As if I didn't have
Guys,
it.
would you go for PGM?
Yeah. I do PGM.
But then we know if we get as well.
No.
I'm also going to take a shot.
It's fine.
Guys, we're starting. Guys. Oh, sorry, mate.
Wait.
Welcome everyone back to JCR meeting. This first JCR meeting of the term. We've got two method one position running and a lot of just started with some reports by the exec throughout the term. We need to work on
I have some correspondence first. I'm going to do it first. So this is from Thea. I'm really sorry that I can't be with you all tonight. I'm unfortunately dealing with a family emergency at the moment. Due to this, I'll unfortunately have low availability of the... If you have any urgent questions, please get in touch with a member of the exec or the board of trustees. with me. I am revising for exams, but I'm happy to help.
Get in touch with me, it's fine.
Yeah, I'll just pass off to Jordan anyway. Best of luck to everyone running elections tonight. Wishing you all the best of luck with your exams, and I'll see you guys soon. So that's from Thea. And then, in terms of reports, my report is done coming in. Submit my disc, revising for 5 exams in 8 days. Next is the librarian Lauren. So she's ordered £650 worth of new books with a new adapted classics collection, the Booker Prize, queer authors and stories spotlight, and a spotlight on translated fiction. Biscuits will be up and running after my exams here due to budget cuts in college. Library refurb finalised and furniture ordered to arrive and to be fitted in June to avoid exam season. Looking at opening later night in the lab based off my availability to allow people to stay post 9 PM during exams. Cumulatively spent my grand budget from the Billy B on books that support reading for joy, not reading for degree. JCR book budget allocated to course books requests, but none have been made thus far. I can't read. Ordered stuff for displays when I'm not in throes of exams. Sports and socks chair, liaise with Team Durham to ensure our 3 teams that were selected for York varsity were ready and supported. Entered teams into the Festival of Sport on June the 7th. Have started conversations with Kilby to get our own varsity organised. Did that not just happen?
No, we won.
Next time we shall reach the final. Reached out to local photographers to get our sports and socks photo organised. Starred into Instagram videos for Team Durham College Sport.
That was last one.
Did they spell your name right?
That was the last one.
What?
That was the last one.
So it's 3.1.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll come back to that.
Send a new report. Yeah.
I'll
Great.
carry on.
Someone use that. That'd be great.
Summer Ball, working on deciding a theme, importance of effective marketing as what to strike a balance between putting out enough information, but also having that element of intrigue that drove the course ball sales, wanting to make sure it is accessible to everyone, so getting information out about the Durham grants and financial accessibility measures as soon as possible, and this will be the most expensive ball. Cuth Day, want to make sure everyone knows about what this day entails, emphasis of the community aspect, using Cuth and such musicians, so please reach out if you know of anyone or you yourself would like to perform. Do you have that?
Yes.
Um,
Someone didn't space it, but someone didn't.
okay, this is George's.
The last 2. You're covering the first few ones, right?
Yeah.
This is the last few points.
That was really different because
The
my
first
first
one
one.
is finish my degree. Handed in my dissertation, my final essay was a stressful Easter, but looking forward to enjoying the Durham summer. Have entered our nominations for Team Durham Sports Awards. Attended 2 meetings with Team Durham, one looking ahead at next year to support the handover of all college sports officers. The second was a discussion surrounding the planning of festival sport later this term. Entered of our term 3 sports with the new addition / return of a competitive rounders side. Have been invited to attend 2 meetings that will look at floodlit conduct and crowd management of the organisation of next year's competitions. Next is Senior Welfare Officer Cara. Thank you. Lots of welfare coverage. Out there, had fun at fashion show, the great jam festing, and they helped us out with fees. Currently sorting them out for summer ball Cuth Day. Not sure if I've already updated on this, but had a ball at the exec 4 months ago. Scar on my legs and Jimmy's still vibrant, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's still there.
She fell down the stairs anyway.
That was
my phone.
That wasn't in the report.
Secured funding from college to provide free menstrual supplies in sufficient quantities for Cuth students, not just for sporadic occasions, but to ensure that they can access as many supplies as needed. Going to try and get a system in place to enable ordering these supplies before I leave, so it's ready and outside for next year. Finished my disc. Hell yeah. Already read it over and found a grammar mistake. Meetings with Lydia in college to sort out some support for summer term. Good luck everyone in your exams, sat form and extensions, etc. Had a welfare campaigns meeting to sort out stress less. Big shout out to Molly Legend for bringing some fab outreach lab ideas. Stay tuned for massive moves, including sheep and cold swims and Mr. Pig and Frog Stickers.
It's a petty
Check out
thing.
these- I'm talking about sheepy South.
Good for everyone's welfare there.
And Maddie for, as usual, ordering all of my stuff. I'm pretending the budget is infinite.
Okay.
You have a little cough, Dave. You sound
Drafters organised JCR meeting 3.1 and it's done submitted. Molly, the towels have arrived and they look great. Collection will be happening this week. There are 3 left if you've missed one and want one. Went to welfare meeting and have planned some cold water dips to promote towels, but also because I want an excuse to go to the beach. Had a meeting with Thea about plans for this term, some exciting ideas will be discussed, so looking forward to getting alumni and Dev Ed. I continued working on alumni mentoring program with help from DevCon, particularly our alumni association reps. Lauren and I have tried to get Jack Evans for a library event with no success. So she's rounded up another stuff this week, post my final deadline. Tech Chloe, I sorted the tech for fashion show, had a meeting with Thea where we discussed prices and logistics for tech hires. I have started sorting out equipment hires for the end of term. International rep, Cindy, I organised Cuth Global Week with 3 days of events consisting of a cooking class, craft and sit session and a movie day, and future plans include posting an epiphany recap and preparing for a handover meeting after the new national rep is elected. From Comscom, Shade, LGBT rep on the upcoming Pride Formal and Bailey Pride event, doing a mixture of grant applications, trying to schedule guests and working on the advertisement for both events. We are partnering with the charity Out Northeast, which Molly previously fundraised for, and all profits will be going to them. From Luke had major surgery, Souls Gang. Local and Northern Students rep, Liam, scheduled a meeting with Julia, finally got shingles, had to cancel my meeting with Julia. And then my currently drowning in summative will be at EDI conference Wednesday. That's it from them. From me.
So, we'll have the Map 1 elections first before going to wrap those.
Just make some motions for fun.
Anyone want to make a motion?
Now, when does the raffle
I'm
come
gonna
and
do
play?
that motion that you spoke about next
So many.
because all the students should be there. So they can actually go.
We'll do method one separate. We have 2 elections up, treasurer and international rep. So for each we only have 1 candidate. So we'll start with treasurer. So can Maddie get up?
Hello everyone, I'm back again. For those who don't know me, my name's Maddie. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm a natural sciences student here in Cuth. First I'd like to address the question that's probably on most of your minds. Maddie, why on earth do you want to do this again? We've already done it for a year. And whilst I admit this is a perfectly valid question, I should like to speak a little on why I'm rerunning. So since August, I've worked to ensure that Cuth's JCR finances are managed responsibly, transparently, and in a way that genuinely benefits our community. I've done this through maintaining accurate financial records, supporting events and societies, and working closely with the exec. And in doing so, I've developed a strong understanding of both the responsibilities and the future potential of the role. On a more personal note, I truly believe this role has been transformative for me, not just giving me a deep understanding of how JCR functions and what we do for people, but also for myself. This time last year, I was genuinely terrified and so timid, like coming up to stand in front of people and do a host. So it's been a very formative experience for me, and I've gained so much confidence through communicating with college, members of the JCR, and external working professionals, as well as our board of trustees. Rerunning for treasurer, I want to build on this experience to further improve accessibility, transparency, and long-term sustainability within the JCR. So a little bit on what I've been trying to work on this year. Apart from all the boring admin bits like reclaims. In Freshers Week, we sold a record number of levies in the name of financial transparency. We took the time to really talk through and thoroughly explain to incoming freshers the benefits of the levy, which help maintain financial agency and support those that were perhaps slightly unsure, but they were able to go away and make a decision that was in their best interests. I've developed good working relationships with members of the exec, helping with various events and chairing the participation fund panel. With regards to the participation fund, I've been working closely with the President to expand the scope of this fund in the coming year, and I've been working to ensure that it is accessible to those who it will benefit most. Alongside the Sports and Soccer Share, I've also been working with college and officers to help improve and develop our JCR and college spaces, such as the tennis courts, so that's something that really works better for our students. This includes the tennis courts and wider projects with several sports. I've also worked with creating new budgeting methods for sports and societies in the coming year, with the aim of better transparency about what JCR does and how the budgets work. Speaking to transparency moving forwards, one of my main manifesto points is to establish the importance of our independent status as a charity to the wider Cuth community. This is by advertising and ideally a page in the Freshers' Handbook. From my experience, I've found our independence to be imperative and one of the most unique things about Cuths, and absolutely integral to maintaining financial accessibility and integrity within the college. This is something I would endeavour not only to maintain, but further if I was elected as Treasurer once more. I feel if I was to be re-elected, it would mean continuity, experience, and someone who is already comfortable in the role. I'd be able to build immediately on the progress made this year and continue working to ensure the JCR's finances are accessible, transparent, and beneficial for all.
We now have questions, be they timed or untimed, so any questions? Louise?
What would you change about the way you've done this role going into next year?
Well, it's something that staff said to me last year is definitely more involvement in FICOM. It's really hard, as obviously you're the only delegate on the accounts, to find things that people can do, but it's something that now I understand the role, I can really think about and rework, so it's better for students on FICOM and also for myself.
Any other questions? Caleb?
Do you see any near-term risks coming to the finance of the JCR, or do you think we're in a good place?
As our financial independence, I think we're in a very good place. I think the only caution is that Central University are trying to push independent colleges away. I know they said to Josephine Butler's MCR are thinking of going independent, and they said to them that there's really no appetite within the upper university for JCR to go independent. So I just think solidifying that and just making sure that college, fingers crossed, and Central University don't try and creep in and take away our autonomy.
That's all the questions then. Round of applause, Maddie. And we'll get on to our next election, which is for international rep. We again have one candidate, so can Coco please come up? We have 3 minutes on that.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Cuth, and I'm a first-year law student at Cuth, and I'm running to be your next international representative. Having been born in Hong Kong and raised across Singapore and France, I'm the literal embodiment of the word international student. That's why I understand how daunting it can be to have to move across the world and have to settle into a new environment. However, I think that even though it can be overwhelming at the start, I believe that with the right support, every student can navigate these challenges with confidence. And my mission is to ensure that all international students feel supported from the very moment they arrive in Cuth till the day they graduate. I want to emphasize that I'm not just coming to this role with ideas. As one of the International Committee's events officers, I've already been planning and leading inclusive activities for our community, such as Thanksgiving and Chinese New Year. Beyond Cuths, I've also managed large-scale logistics, such as events like leadership dialogues over 200 students across 21 different schools, and charity art exhibitions that raise over £35,000. That's why I feel that these experiences have strengthened my ability to bring people from different backgrounds together to create inclusive and well-run initiatives. That's why I believe that I have developed the organizational and communication skills necessary to advocate for you and to bring Cuths together. If elected, I want to focus my campaign on 3 keywords. That is integration, support, and representation. Firstly, I plan to introduce small group meetups and dinners throughout the year, moving past just one-off events. These will become consistent opportunities for students from all different backgrounds to bond over their culture and food. and to connect with different people from all different places and foster a real sense of belonging, and to help ease homesickness that we all feel at the start. Secondly, I feel that the transition to the UK involves a lot of essential yet confusing administrative processes. That's why I hope to provide hands-on guidance on things like GP registration, setting up local bank accounts, and navigating the local university system. That's whether it be practical support, mentoring, or career guidance. I want to make sure that everyone feels equipped to start their life in Durham. Thirdly, I want to strengthen collaboration with Durham's various cultural societies and other colleges. By broadening our engagement, we can ensure that our events are truly diverse, more representative, and truly inclusive of the entire international student body. Most importantly, I want to be an approachable representative who ensures your voice is heard throughout your entire duration of your studies. And I hope to bring my energy and dedication to Cuth in 2026 and 2027, and I'll be incredibly grateful for your vote. Thank you.
Any questions? Jasper?
So the international formal has been cancelled like 2 years in a row because of like developers events and like no one's really going and signing up. Will the international formal be like kind of something you want to do and make it like people actually go to the formal? Or like if yes, like what are you going to do about it to increase that like representation?
I think the lack of numbers for the international formal stems from a deeper issue. It's the fact that the international student body is very separated from St. Cuthbert society as a whole. I feel that it starts from like creating a connection between these two groups of people and making sure that there's consistent like passing of this information to the international student body, because I feel that most international student bodies, like international students, just stay within their own. So I feel that fostering a connection and making sure that international students are kept up to date with what events we have would definitely increase the numbers. Because I feel like in many of our events in the national community, we had like, the same few people were coming, and once I talked to some people, some international students, they weren't even aware that these events were happening in the first place. So I feel that like, just making sure that people are aware that we're hosting these events would increase the numbers in the future, and I hope that we get to have a successful international formal.
Any more questions? Yeah.
Building on to your response, we have a lot of international students in Cuth, but not everyone actively engages with the Instagram or the WhatsApp group chats. How would you aim to reach these people that do not actively engage with this?
From what I've seen at other colleges, such as Grey College, I think that every week there's an email that goes through to everybody, and I feel that this is, because everyone will check their emails for schoolwork and everything, so I feel that embedding the international committee into like these emails that we send out every week would just spark a little more interest, because let's say you're just scrolling through your emails and you see that, oh, maybe international committee is having a new event, maybe I should go. It was just creating the awareness of what's happening in St. Cuthbert.
So I know you mentioned that you have experience as an events officer this year. Are there any events that you didn't have time or didn't get to do this year that you would want to maybe do next year?
I think rather than that, I feel that we had enough events, but execution-wise, it could have been done better. Like, I feel that what we were lacking this year was that we were not planning these thoroughly and in advance, and obviously not making a bigger effort to connect with the wider student body. So I feel that even though we did have these events throughout the year, but the people that actually showed up for these events were quite little. So I feel that that's what I want to focus on.
I heard you talk about small group dinners.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know like how is it actually going to be organized, because it sounds to me like it was like some small kind of dinner with like only 4 people, or like 4 or 5 people. It sounds like something that doesn't have really a very meaningful reason.
I think that my plan was to start this from Freshers Week onwards, to create like, I wouldn't say families, but smaller groups to bring people from different places together. And like, even you can't obviously like, it's a bit like a family, but maybe on a smaller scale, because I feel like a lot of international students might feel a bit afraid and a bit like intimidated when we come to Durham. So I feel that like small groups, maybe just grouping a few people and you can just bond over like a small coffee or like a breakfast and hope that they continue meeting each other throughout the year. Obviously it can't be enforced, but I feel that making that start, just grouping them together might encourage them to continue this forward.
This role can involve a lot of responsibility, especially when planning International Freshers Week. So how would you ensure that you stay organized while balancing other commitments like school?
I think this was one of my concerns coming onto this role, like auditioning for this role. I feel that it would stem from a lot of time management, having to plan my schedule around these events, like making sure I have all my work out of the way so that I can focus fully on planning these events. For example, if for international freshers, I think it's good that I think like before school starts, so work is not such a big concern for me, but I think throughout the year, I will have to plan my time well.
I think that's it with questions, unless we'll call it that last one as well then.
I can't remember what the question was now. Oh yeah, what would you want to do differently in Freshers Week compared to this, like your Freshers Week, and like what you've seen in the past? Like how would you change it to like make it bigger?
I think that I would like to, as I said, with the small groups, I feel like starting from from creating these small groups and linking them together. But I feel like I would like it to be a slower process to ease international students into St. Cuth's. I feel like that's one of the bigger, I feel like that would make a bigger impact to ease that process into coming into an entirely new environment.
Can I ask a question?
Go on.
In like Freshers Week, everything's like very like chaotic and full on, and you might not necessarily have time to do that. It would require a lot of work beforehand, but then you don't know like what's actually happening at the time. Like things change like left, right, and centre. Like people get moved from different colleges, so I feel like going slow, you have to have a planning with it.
Yeah.
I don't know what the question is. It's been a long day.
Voicing an opinion.
Oh, well.
I'm not even meant to.
We'll call it there with the questions then, and then do an answer so Louise is not the question.
I have a question, but I just my brain.
So round of applause for Phil. That is all our method ones. Voting opens tomorrow at 10 AM, runs for 48 hours on just.com/vote. We'll take a short break here to do our wrap and stuff, and then do our method twos afterwards.
I'm so excited about the raffle. I've just yeah, exactly.
He's got nothing else to say. We know what he's saying.
Yeah, look. Fred's enough to know about it. I wasn't so excited, I just didn't realise that
You can't.
No, I know. I haven't I would do that. So I was like, oh great, that's perfect. And also,
If I get the first thing I get pretty much it cost me like 15 grand, it cost me 30 grand, but after that, like, yeah, that's just the degree.
I don't think that you get it.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Well, I still might have someone who's wanting to, guys. Like, I've sort of turned my attention to I prefer the course here anyway. It was just the fact that like Henson obviously got but I do prefer the course here. It's also not like it's actually not the end of the way. The course I've got here I think is actually more interesting. Well, I'll just go into this for me, I'll just be sport. I don't know why. The question from it, why is still happy actually? Another 3 years. 3 years.
It's not threat, like
the one at Durham is DDD, and the one at Oxford is refugee which is why I prefer the one here. I want to do policy in the policy.
you can send this to the group chat.
Like, the course here is what I really want.
And I put drunk Hugo question mark, and Eleanor put Hugo, that's my channel. I'm not on the show below, so now you just exposed me for nibbling my own
The thing with reapplying is that, like, I would just say that I want to stay in touch over the course of
I don't know
I'm hoping there's someone that still needs a house in France. I think a lot of people are still like aware. Well, the thing with Durham is you can actually set the so you could just
Just found out. People usually find out. I haven't really found out.
I really don't appreciate it. I really don't appreciate it after I found out. I feel like I can raffle tickets. We just love the raffle tickets.
to survive.
If I don't get raffle tickets, I'll simply call it. I'll break my leg. Was that who was Yes, you heard the crack.
She fell off one step. She was funny. She broke it.
Ages made to get something else. When will the needs to be next week?
Probably Wednesday at 2.
That's what I told you. Yes, I have. Oh, good well.
Yes.
You go around for you didn't see Millie Brown in terms of
I
Depends on what that would entail.
Anywhere you prepared questions. Yeah, I'll do
I didn't want to touch more than a dog. Rainbow
Right, raffles time.
Come on.
Come on, 531.
God, you just so often
There's one person.
525. You
What? You're telling me no one else is
Those Pringles, we had a whole lot of onion Pringles.
Oh my God. The first prize of the raffle.
I had
crumbs as well.
Also, there's been ages since I've done this stuff.
Just give them up and you went.
Coming some slack.
Easy to eat.
Come on.
That's me.
Get a whole pack. Stop
Yeah,
being
so
stingy.
One person's with a whole pack and then they give it to like two of their mates.
Yeah.
Three individuals.
I want three.
I've got 2 months to fill in spare time. I'm on my way.
Right. Should we put it to a vote? I think
Alex, side yourself.
Oh, I was going to say
Yeah.
like
I'm not that good.
No, I think I'm just going to, for the sake of time, I'm going to go 3 and then you can share with your mates.
Right.
Because like that. So, the winner of 3 bubble ones is number 5, 2, 3.
You do maths, you know the odds of it being 5-2-4
Now,
next.
there was like an order of these prizes are like increasing so spectacularly, but I put them in my bag and just like put strange things, so it's going to be a bit random.
Is the bag your prize?
Dude, I would probably pay somebody to take this off. It's a temporary bag. No, I need a bag. Anyway, next prize.
So do
It's
I,
a
that's
frisbee.
Alex, question.
We've got
No.
one.
Does a lesson of frisbee with you include the fire? Please.
Only if you just go like wump into the wall.
Also, is it in one piece or 3 separate pieces?
So yeah, if we could, we can chop this up into 3 and then auction it off. That would be nice. Right.
So, because we're all wrapped into water, I'll tap it
The winner of the frisbee is 5-4-4.
Don't enforce the rules.
As you can tell, I'm kind of going with a bit of a summer theme. So, because of all the hot weather we've been having, very conveniently ended just now. But I brought all of this as a summer theme, and now it's really summery. So, the next prize is
Is it 5 items?
Is it
We need to get through this at some point.
It's not one Iceland.
What if you want two? You gotta
This is a pack of 4. You cannot split the pack of 4. I didn't look at it close enough. Anyway, so you filled these up with like, I mean, any juice they want, but I always think apple juice.
Beer, I
Alex, Merrick, please.
The number that wins, a pack of 4 ice volleyball tips. Number 5, 2, 9.
Team freezer, let's go.
Next prize. I always use in like high run stuff, like so you know, and it's like it's a bit awkward if somebody wants something handy. So try to go on something that doesn't have any like wouldn't be a dietary requirement. It's Vimto flavored candy floss. But let me tell you, it was cheap. So right. The winner of Vimto candy floss is 5, 2, 7.
Oh, I don't want it. Go somewhere.
Redo.
Does anyone want this?
No.
Unless it's better food in that bag.
Yeah, I think so. Give one each.
Nah, they can have it.
If it takes my number out of play, I don't want it. I want to see what's in the bag. I like it. Just spin it again.
Wait, Alex, just to clarify, that doesn't count as my go, right? I'm still in this, right?
It's tempting.
You can't say no.
Alex, just do it now.
I'll just do it again. Right.
He hasn't called flag 4.
We do another number.
No, he is not in any order.
5, 3, 6. Do you want it?
Yeah! Good prize, Alex. Terrible prize.
See, that was probably what I should have grasped first, I guess. Right. Next prize. We've got reusable swirly straws.
Oh, that's
Come on!
Good job, Alex.
Hello. 5-2, come on. 5-4. Right, 1.
Right. Come on, Alex.
5, 3, 7.
Oh, have a
Okay. We should just split. Remember what I bought. Right.
Yeah.
The next prize is a cocktail shaker set. Which contains 1 shake, 3 stirs, and 6 reusable ice cubes. Right. The winner of the cocktail shaker set is 519.
Yes! That's the happiest I've ever seen anyone raffle. That could be the greatest reaction to a raffle
Right, next prize.
Oh, that's quite good. I'm in.
Now, this was a much better price when it was like roasting 2 days ago. Yeah, so if you're doing this spray fan.
Yeah, I'm keen for it.
You fill it up with water, you can put batteries on the fire.
Does it say water?
Right.
Right, think more creatively.
The winner of the cooling mist spray fan is,
Please, come on, Alice.
number 5, 4, 3.
Isn't that
Oh my god!
Oh, he's so sweaty. Good job.
Yes, Caleb, your room is not as like bomb.
Right. We have 2 more prizes. Go. This guy.
It's not a frog. What the hell?
Right. Winner of the turtle is number 5, 2, 9.
Yes!
If I win, you swap.
Right. 5, 2.
No, do it again.
2.
Yes!
Which leads us to the final prize. Which is
batteries, bro. Batteries.
Do you not have batteries in your house?
Who owns batteries, fella? It's 2026. Everyone's plugged in.
I respect that.
Who owns batteries?
9 batteries cost like £1 in pounds.
Is it double A? That's so expensive.
That's not
Yeah, you don't shop in Tesco. It's really expensive. That's like. Anyone know the most sausage in Panama?
Right.
How much does this cost?
Yeah, how many times do you go shopping in Tesco?
You got lots of stuff in your £1,000.
So expensive.
It's usually pretty widely like priced up there. It's not
Absolutely died me, but I remember the number. So, the number of 520. 4. You missed the last number. I'm not sure what we done with that. I was going like, oh,
Everyone?
I really just want to be like.
No!
Who said that's a lot?
Oh.
We'll give it to you.
We'll be running method 2 now. Guys! Come on.
Nice.
Order!
Guys, please can you be quiet?
Guys, come on.
Okay. So we'll be running the method 2s now. So can everyone please close their eyes? Can you please raise your hand if you'd like to run for local and northern students round? Can everyone lower their hands? Can everyone please open their eyes? We have a candidate.
Liv's getting
Hello everyone, I'm Bodie Davison and I'm a first year philosophy and psychology student. Durham has a bit of a bad reputation when it comes to local students, and it's not entirely undeserved, with only 3% of the student population being from a local area. That's actually the lowest of any university in the country, which can lead to northern students feeling out of place in their own region. So I'd like to bring northern students together earlier in the year to form a community and share experiences. I'm from Newcastle myself and now live in County Durham. so I've had lived experience of this. And one thing I'd like to draw light to is commuters. I'm the only person from my sixth form who lives in Durham, everyone else commutes, and I'll be commuting next year. So I'd love to drive more access to events in college life for commuters. As for my experience, I founded my own community interest company supporting young people in the Northeast into work and education. So I believe it's a perfect role for me to bring my work that I've learned from that into Cuth's and listen and act upon student voices. So thank you for listening.
We now have the opportunity for up to 3 non-targeted questions. So, do we have any questions? Liam?
During Freshers Week, we've had an issue of people not coming to the local Northern Student Rep event where you meet the rep and other Northern students. So, what ideas do you have to get people to come?
That's a good point, yeah, okay. So the first thing is obviously making sure everyone's aware of it. I wonder if there's something we could do to pinpoint people who are Northern and put that information out exclusively to them instead of relying on social media pages, which people might not get access to during Freshers Week. You know, it's such a busy time, you don't yet follow all the 20 different social medias. So that's potentially a solution there. I'm not sure, something along those lines, I would hope.
During Freshers Week this year, I felt like a lot of Northern students who were commuting weren't as involved as events as we would have liked them to be. So things like matriculation, like not being able to come in really early, get transport that early to come into Durham. So what are some things that you would put in place before Freshers Week so that Northern students know that we're here to support them, to make sure they get involved as much as they can?
Yeah, well, I think with commuters, one of the best things you can do is advance information, because if it comes to planning bus routes or even lifts from parents, knowing in advance where you need to be can really help with that. I remember for me in matriculation, it was a case of you kind of found out 48 hours before when your slot was, and that was all right for me because I live here, but for others, I know someone from my sixth form who couldn't make it actually. So that's a big thing, is just getting information out as soon as possible to people who will be commuting.
Caleb, for our last question.
Who's your favourite Northerner?
Woo! It's a great question. Well, see, I would say my mum, but that's like a cheap answer because I love her. But my favourite Northerner ever, Sting, from the Beatles. You know the guy from the Police? Yeah. He's a great guy.
I'm glad I saved that one for last. Cool. Round of applause.
Every breath you take, every move you make. Happy
Everyone, can you please close your eyes?
Oh, my Pringles count.
Guys, can everyone please close their eyes? Reminder, there are 2 options when you vote for this. You can either vote for Bodhi or vote for reopen nominations. This is cautious though, so please only vote if you identify as a local and Northern student. So please, can everyone who would like to vote for Bodhi, please raise their hand. Can everyone please lower their hands? Can everyone who would like to vote to reopen nominations, please raise their hand. Can everyone please lower their hands? Can everyone, well, everyone else is abstaining. Can everyone please open their eyes? Can we get back in? Round of applause for Bodhi. Thank you. So, next is UK Placement Rep, so can everyone please close their eyes?
Is what?
UK Placement Rep. Can everyone please close their eyes? Can you please raise your hand if you'd like to run for the role of UK Placement Rep? Okay, we have no candidates.
Oh,
So
what?
can everyone keep
No.
their eyes closed and I'll move on to the next election.
Okay.
So can anyone who'd like to run for the role of Year Abroad Rep, please raise their hand. Okay, can everyone please lower their hands? Can everyone please open their eyes? We have 3 candidates.
What? What is going to be quick?
So you can all get up here, please.
These are all 1 minute.
Yeah. I need to figure out who's serving in the first in the alphabet.
Mine's
Okay.
That's quite sick.
You get 1 minute.
Wait, I'm going outside.
So when I'm done, I get out of
We'll do all 3 and all the questions.
Okay. Alright, hello. For those who somehow haven't had the displeasure of meeting Michaela, it's me. I'm King Will. Lovely to meet you all. I'm, of course, going off to Italy next year. Lovely time in Rome. Hoping I shall get even more tan than I am. Now, plan for Year Abroad officer is this. How the hell do we keep them actually connected with the college? Now, you could try to do group chats, but before we go, once I'm getting in, because we've already got meetings with the departments and institution-wide plan for later in this term. I'd say first thing to do is figure out who in Cuth's going Year Abroad, get them all together. We try to do meetings in the bars, get them anywhere they want to. We do a form to see where they want most want to go to, just to get them to know each other, have connections, to see if anyone's going to the same country. Just to, especially same city, to see, we're just trying to help them not feel so alone, because of course some people just, like me, don't know anyone going where they're going as well. There's left, and it's just try to give them a good time before they go and show them what they'll be looking forward to when they come back.
We'll invite you next.
Question at the end.
No, you get non-targeted, you get 3 of them. We got rid of targeted questions as students. Go to the minute and then not again. I recommend you
Hi everyone, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Emily and I'm a second year Spanish and Russian student at Cuth. Next year I'll be undertaking study abroad placement in Tallinn, Estonia and Barcelona, Spain before completing an internship in Argentina, and I'm running to be your Year Abroad representative for 2026 as an academic year. As Year Abroad representative I would have 3 main aims. I would not only represent all Cuth students on a Year Abroad in the JCR, but also actively try to demystify the process of applying and being on a Year Abroad. In addition, I would support students already abroad to do this. I have several ideas. Firstly, I would collaborate with other Cuth students on Years Abroad to launch a day in the life series, Instagram vlog series, which would highlight the experience of studying internationally as well as showcase opportunities available to students. In addition, I would create an opt-in database of Cuth students heading abroad. This platform would connect peers heading to similar locations, aiming to reduce anxiety. It would also facilitate a mentorship network, allowing younger students to ask their older peers questions about studying abroad in specific countries. I would also create a WhatsApp community for Cuth's year out students, through which students studying abroad or on placement years could receive updates from the JCR and keep in touch with Cuth's and Durham whilst away. This would ensure that students are away from Durham and not out of sight and out of mind. Any questions?
No, it's in
okay.
method 2's get group questions.
Okay, cool, thank you.
Can we get Caitlin back in?
Sorry, I don't want to be wrong. How long was
Give us a minute, not when you're 15 seconds left.
Okay.
Start whenever.
Start whenever. Hi, I'm Caitlin. Woo! I'm going to the Netherlands next year. Wait, I'm going to skip all my jokes. So, first of all, I want to keep the Instagram going. Day in the life content. Reminders for submission dates for applications. They come by really quickly, as I realise. I did mine like a week before. Important. I want to
do reminders for important events like webinars, information sessions. I also want to do top tips. I just want to basically keep like avenues of communication open for everyone, because obviously I'll be away, people will be here, everyone else will be everywhere. I know many top tips for people applying. Number one being, please don't email your department supervisor 5 questions in one day, unless you want a really angry email the next day saying don't send that many. I want to do group chats while everyone's away, keep in contact. Many people have problems with housing for 4th year. These group chats will allow people to find other people who are struggling with housing. I want to do a welcome home social, so find people to help run it during the first few weeks of Michaelmas, and I'll run it when I get back. But yeah, that's about it.
So we now have time for questions. We'll now have time for questions. Questions will be answered in the order the speeches were done, and then it'll shift up by one every time. So we have time for 3 questions. So, any questions? Yes.
I'm slightly concerned about the loyalty to JCR out of everyone, because this is non-targeted. But anyone who hypothetically is, I'm just concerned that the loyalties to the JCR would hinder your ability to carry out a role within Cuth's JCR and might, cause some...
You're making eye contact.
So, this is a targeted question, so I am gonna have to say no.
I can quickly answer it.
That's not how this works.
2 JCRs the price of 1.
How will you help, because obviously a lot of things are a bit complicated if you're not doing just languages, because I know some of you guys aren't studying languages, and then especially if you do combined honours, combined honours in social science and stuff, how would you make sure that people aren't missing out on any information to do with that?
So what I'd say to someone who is, of course, mainly doing classics archaeology with Italian, is that if you're doing it, the department already is introducing you to the other people within the department doing the year abroad to the same country. The languages themselves are also doing it and trying to introduce you to the other people doing the languages. And in terms of finding out who else in the college is doing it, they can tell you that. So I'd probably either just ask within the college and see who's doing it. And so the question was how do we connect them together?
Yeah, just making sure they have the same information as everybody else.
Information, that would be trying to get them, as I say, try and make a group chat, get everyone together, information about who's going where, for visa, everything. I mean, for the application process, they make sure, they're very good with getting everything given to you from day one, but it would just be talking to them and seeing, when everyone's together, does someone know something, someone doesn't, or is there information that someone knows just really hasn't been passed around? Then we go talk to departments ourselves, or we just share what we know if people don't know. So we get a group chat, just people can discuss about it.
Yeah. Okay, so as I talked about in my speech, I'd really like to create a Cuth's database of students heading on years abroad, and this can be used to create a WhatsApp community and put students heading to similar countries in a group chat, so they have each other's numbers, and it helps students feel like that, maybe whilst they're not in Durham, they're still connected to the community here. In addition, to support students, I am a language student, it is part of my degree, but I know that a lot of people heading on years abroad are non-languages students, so I'd really like to work with maybe other people in the JCR to help demystify the process of applying for a year abroad, such as through maybe making a handbook, posting more on the Instagram, doing days in the life, and also putting students who are interested in applying for years abroad in contact with older students who are maybe doing the years abroad that they're interested in. For example, if you have someone who's interested in heading to, Vancouver, Canada, and we know that there's a Cuth student already there, we can put them in contact and they can ask and answer questions about what it involves. Sorry, what was the question again? It's been a while.
Just how do you make sure that people who, I guess you're not doing a languages degree,
no.
And how do you make sure people who aren't doing a languages degree know?
So obviously I've been through the process of applying for it without a languages degree, so I know how it works. But avenues of communication, I want to keep WhatsApp, Instagram, keep it all open. Have people keep it really open so people can message the Instagram questions, and also just preempt them. Have it on stories, have it on posts, and just keep it going strong.
Yes, the last question. George.
Are you serious?
Check the standing orders.
We'll extend it to one.
She really was. I didn't do what I was
Yeah, I
exactly.
do. His is going to be a joke.
It's not. It's actually not. What's the question? Obviously,
we'll do both. And then we'll cut it off.
you're all going to be doing your international placement whilst you're there as well. How are you going to manage your own time as well as managing all these other students that are on an international placement? Like, how are you going to manage your welfare and your own time as well as managing how many other people are going at the same time?
So is it
Am I
you
starting?
started?
Yeah.
Okay, so this year, whilst in Durham, I've worked as the social secretary for the 93% Club Durham, so I've been organising a bunch of socials for state educated students there. That has given me skills in terms of like managing my degree, managing like, you know, organising socials, like communicating with other members of the exec and that kind of thing. In addition, for 2 of my placements, I will only be working 4 days a week. I'm doing 3 placements in total, so for my internship I'll be working 4 days a week, and for one of my study placements I'll be working 4 days a week, so that'll give me more time to kind of deal with, you know, people in Durham, like this role, that kind of thing, because I do understand that if you're working 5 days a week in a foreign country, like, you know, your degree doesn't have to be your priority, but hopefully only doing 4 would help with that.
So I'm looking at the fact that I'm going to the Netherlands, so I'm only an hour time zone difference. So it won't be as hard. Like I'll be active when everybody else will be active. Yeah, I can't remember what else we were going to say. I've lost my train of thought. But yeah.
Similarly with me, I'll just be interested just now it's time difference in terms of. Sorry, it's more how will I manage studies myself while.
Yeah, you're all going to be like on an international placement as well. How are you going to study, like manage your own well-being and like having fun and managing all other 20, 30 people that are on the international placement as well?
So for me, luckily I'm in a place where I am just going there to study a degree, not a job. So and it's Italy, they are ridiculously lax at the end. So you have got exams, but it's all weird way, and it doesn't actually count. It's not the most stressful thing. And in terms of experience of doing that already, I mean this year the social committee, not too much going on. There's the union social committee. It's not every day, every single day you're doing stuff. We've got a hell of a lot going on. The rules shall be brilliant, of course, but it's not every single day you're taking over. We've got another social committee for the union, and there's helping out with friends and have a bake club, so we keep going to do stuff for them, as well as trying to deal with rain and until the last 2 weeks hockey as well going on. And I mean last year as well this was at Warwick, but while doing my own studies and doing everything, I was also the chairman of the Student Staff Liaison Committee, sat on the Education Committee, so I was doing a lot of this stuff already, creating group chats, obviously for the year abroad as a first year for some reason, but I've already done quite a lot of this. There was never any problems, so it's experience-wise, I've had this sort of stuff going on for 2 years now, so I was good enough at dealing with it.
So apparently my brain is so fried from exams I couldn't count it through. So there is enough time for one more question for Cara.
Thank you. So whenever you're on a year abroad, you still have access to all the support networks that like students in Durham do, and also the year abroad placement reps both sit on welfare campaigns as of this year. And so I'm kind of wondering how the kind of campaigns that you run, the support that you have in college, how would you? This might be quite a different question, but how would you kind of ensure that students on year abroad know that they have access to that same support, and like how would you make sure that they're involved in the campaigns that we do, and like feel they are still connected to Cuths in a support way, whenever they're not in Durham, basically.
Keeping it all online. Obviously, Instagram's a big thing. Everyone could, I would assume if you're on a year abroad, you're following Instagram. If not, we can signpost it on the JCR one, I can imagine. It can go through that. But also, like, I know with time differences it can be difficult, but I'd love to do like online, like be able to set up something to do with like online Zoom meeting welfares, because I don't know what support you get from the university abroad, and obviously you do get a lot from Cuths, and making sure that it's still accessible, and maybe having weird times might help, especially with people who go like abroad, like further away, like New Zealand, Canada, making sure that the time differences are accounted for as well.
Firstly, as one's out signposting, you've got to do a hell of a lot while you're still here, so I try to firstly figure out, make the group think, okay, who's going on the abroad, who's going where, who's the same place and everything, try and get them in touch, contact details, Instagram, etc. Collate a massive document of, who's basically signposting, who to talk to on your way, whether it was Lydia's email, for example, or any other services, what they are, who to email, and just while I'm here, if elected, just basically from tomorrow once I've had a good sneeze today, I'll get a massive document, just sorted ASAP with just everything I need to know on it, check with people who, I've got friends who are on a year abroad from various other colleges, see what they were told, get their own experience, what went well, what needs to be improved, what didn't happen, they wish they could, etc.
Okay, so as I talked about before, I'd really like to have like a database of students going abroad, so that then like college knows who's abroad and how we can support them. Through having something along the lines of a WhatsApp group that would help students like stay in contact with Cuths, but I'd also be really interested in running like drop-ins for students who are both thinking about applying for a year abroad, because the process can be a lot. As someone who's done that application twice now for my 2 study abroad placements and again with the internship, like I know how tough it can be. So like drop-ins would help students thinking about applying for a year abroad, but also those abroad. And maybe welfare and year abroad rep could like collab to do like Zoom drop-in sessions. I also think having like things signposted on the Instagram would make a big difference, and kind of being more active on the Instagram itself to ensure that students know what support is out there. And like whilst they might not physically be in Durham, like Durham can be with them, you know?
Yeah, thank you.
And that is actually 3 questions. So that is it. Round of applause for. We will be doing both now, so please do with my lovely Garrows.
I love you're not targeting.
I do think you got pop up. It's one of those things that I will because actually okay. Can everyone please close their eyes? We have 4 options in selection. You can vote for Will, vote for Emily, vote for Caitlin, or vote to reopen nominations. So we'll start with Will. Can anyone who would like to vote for Will please raise their hand? Cool. Can everyone please lower their hands? Can everyone who'd like to vote for Emily please raise their hand? Can everyone please lower their hands? Can everyone who'd like to vote for Caitlin please raise their hands?
If you want to raise your hand, please raise it like higher, because like someone is like halfway through the conversation.
Okay, can everyone please lower their hands? And can everyone who'd like to reopen nominations please raise their hands? Can everyone please lower their hands and open their eyes? Can we please get our mics back
Emily.
We will now be going on to our next selection. Again. Okay, this is PGM Vice Pres. You can only run for this selection if you are going to become a postgrad student, currently a postgrad student, or are a mature student. So can everyone please close their eyes? Can everyone please close their eyes? Eva. Okay, so if you would like to run for the role of PGM Vice President, can you please raise your hand? Unfortunately, we have no candidates for this election. Can everyone please close our eyes again so we can run the next one, which is PGM Treasurer. If you would like to run for, can everyone please close their eyes? If you would like to run for the role of PGM Treasurer, can you please raise your hand? We have no candidates. The next role is Bailey Wardrobe Manager, so can everyone please close their eyes? Can you please raise your hand if you'd like to run for the role of Bailey Wardrobe Manager? Unfortunately, we have no candidates. Okay, so our next 2 roles, you do have to be graduating this year to run for. So can everyone please keep their eyes closed?
What's this for?
UG Alumni Association rep. You have to be graduating.
Graduate.
So can everyone please close?
I can't be going on a year where I'm graduating to be Woodridge.
Can everyone please close their eyes? Can you please raise your hand if you'd like to run for UG Undergraduate Alumni Association rep? Okay, we have 1 candidate for this. Please can Clara come up?
Okay. I didn't know this was a rule.
What do you mean? Yeah, this is what you offered, didn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Okay.
As if you don't know.
Well,
You have a minute.
okay, fab. Hi everyone, I'm Cara, I'm the current senior welfare officer. I didn't know this was a role until Gabe said it, so thank you. I know that James Bamford does this now. Sorry, I mentioned. Basically, I love Cuths, and I'm gonna love Cuths the rest of my life until I die, probably, which is quite sad. But I have lots of time next year, and I hope to make things super great for all alumni. And I'm really I just love alumni and I love Cuths, and I would love to do this role because I think I could do it really well. I've got experience in JCR. I've been in JCR for the whole 3 years, and I think with like the connections that I have and the ones I have going on in Durham next year, that I could make things great. And I know lots of alumni because I love JCR, and so I think it'd be great, and I would love to part of this more. But I also think that I could genuinely make it really interesting and enticing for alumni to come back and like do things. And I don't know, I'll be involved with JCR next year through friends, and so I would be able to know what they want from alumni in like the exact next year, and then be able to connect those two things together, because I think that's kind of, there's a bit of, I guess, I don't know, yeah, we'd love to know what the alumni want whenever we're actually in Cuths in whatever way, so yeah.
Thank you.
This
Round
is
of applause. You have time for questions.
Guys, these are really hard questions.
Liam?
Who's your favourite alumni? We're not allowed to say Ben Thomas, Dan Mercer, or Jack Edwards.
Oh!
Or James Bamford.
Or James Bamford.
Okay, that's
That wasn't on the list anyway.
Okay, Louise Newbury, my predecessor.
I knew you were going to say that.
Louise Newbs.
Lauren?
Okay, opinions on LinkedIn and how many connections.
Oh my god! Okay, so I've had 500 plus questions since I was first year. I have fucking love LinkedIn. I check LinkedIn at least once a week. I love it.
Once a week?
I was going to say, I do it every day.
I check it 3 times a week if we're being whatever. Yeah, I love LinkedIn. I check it all the time. I changed. I think you remember if I was on the exact social, I changed my profile pic to my LinkedIn on the day. So I love LinkedIn. I connect people very often on it. Anyone who's in Cuths, I'm always connecting with them. I follow Cuths, alumni, exec, whatever other than I follow everyone. So I'm really into LinkedIn. Thank you. Good question.
George, last question.
I think a lot of the alumni stuff in recent years has stayed very JCR focused.
Yeah.
Is there a way you could, like, have you thought of anything that would maybe spread this out to sports clubs or societies that might not have connected in a long while that would want to come back and interact? Like, there's a lot of alumni that probably haven't come back because it's JCR focused. Have you thought of any ideas that could spread out to wider alumni that might not be involved before?
Oh my god, good question. I think that a massive issue with the JCR. I think that an issue is that like things do feel very JCR focused. And I think all of the sports teams and all the societies and stuff, and also like just personal people have like connections with group chats and people. Like there's group chats with all the alumni of like many sports, like that you could reach out to, and I would very much do that. And like also like friends and like years above and like years gone by, not so whatever 5 years, you'd be able to reach out to like group chats and like they're your group chats and stuff like that. Not ones who are just in the Cuths JCR ones. I think it would be really remiss to be an alumni person who only wants the JCR people to come, because then it would just be us, and I'd be like, seen you, so it's fine. I think that's a great question. I think all the group chats that we have so many connections thanks to the internet that we can like reach out to as many people as we could possibly. The Instagrams people follow, like there's emails, and also with college and stuff, like I think they have a database of people that have been in Cuths, and I think emails would be massive because I guess people who leave university don't really use Instagram as much anymore, so emails would be class. But yeah, I think that's really important that I'd be really keen to reach out to people who weren't just in the JCR, but also people who are in sports societies and Cuths in general, because that's what you want. Like you want to be connected to people who have this weird connection with you, but like not necessarily people you knew, because they're just your friends. So I think that would be class. Yeah, I'd love to. That would be something I'd be working on whenever I'm alone in Belfast and not in Cuths. And I would just be loving to make a massive, humongous group chat to like send messages constantly. And yeah, that would be class. Yeah, good question. Thank you.
Round of applause. That is Everyone knows the drill by now. Can you please close your eyes? 2 options, both Cara, both Ron. Can everyone please close your eyes? And can you please raise your hand if you'd like to vote for Cara? Can everyone lower their hands? And can you please raise your hands if you'd like to reopen nominations? Can everyone lower their hands? Can everyone open their eyes? And can we get Cara back in? We do have one more roll to run, so can everyone please, for the final time, close their eyes? Well, maybe final time. Can you please, it's the postgraduate equivalent of the role we just ran, so PG Alumni Association rep. So can you please raise your hand if you'd like to run for PG Alumni Association rep? We have no candidates.
There's no PGs in the room, are there?
So everyone please open their eyes, meeting adjourned.